Coming up on this episode of the Spiro podcast.
There's a lot of emotion when it comes to real estate, especially on the realtor side. The lenders, they just have to deal with numbers and they have to deal a little bit with the emotion. The title people, they just have to deal with the search and everything like that. I'm not saying any of these places don't have to deal with emotion, but usually the realtor is the center.
Welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magro.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. It's designed to help you manage your day-to-day real estate media business, but ultimately really help you scale it up and become as efficient as you can in what you do. I'm Craig Magrum. Welcome to another episode, and we have a very special episode lined up for you today. We're excited about this. But with me each and every week, Todd Kivimaki, founder, owner, and co-host of the podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you're watching this, Todd.
Craig, what are you doing November 12th and 14th of this year?
November 12th and 14th?
Yeah, it's not Hamvention. That's this weekend.
No, that's this weekend. Yeah, that's this weekend.
But why not the 13th? That's my question. Like, it's just the 12th and the 4th.
12th through 14th.
Through the 14th.
Yeah, 12th through 14th.
I don't know, Todd, but I have a feeling you have something for me, so...
Well, yeah, it'd be really awkward if I said I have nothing for you. But if you are like Craig and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing November 12th through 14th, I have something that you need to do.
Yes,
REPP
sir.
2026 conference is November 12th through 14th, 2026. It's in Orlando, Florida this year, which just makes my heart happy. And it's at a fabulous resort. It's the REPP team. This is the conference in the real estate industry to go to. I'm going to be there. Our team's going to be there. They're going to let me MC the thing again. Fabulous speakers. They're having breakout sessions. And it's going to be an incredible time. And think about all of us staying at the same resort, just the conversations that you're going to have when you go to dinner or you're down at the pool or wherever it may be. But please, if you have not been to a conference or if you haven't booked your tickets yet, replaunch.com/rep 2026. We'll put it in the show notes. Please go and book. Tickets are selling quick. This is a limited event. Tickets are still available, but please come join us. We'd love to see you there. I think you'll learn, you'll grow. You'll just take so much away from this conference, and it's a tax write-off too. What's better than that, Craig?
There you go. There you go. And let me put a little personal plug in for this. Last year was my first year being at the REPP conference. And even as a self-proclaimed introvert, I had some great conversations with people and really enjoyed the camaraderie and the conversation. So even if you're a little nervous about being around big crowds, as a fellow introvert, let me just tell you, it's a very friendly atmosphere and you'll fit right in. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, for sure. Please book it. It's you will not regret it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Todd, we do have a special guest, but before we introduce her, well, she kind of said hello already, but we'll introduce her formally. Spiro updates. What's going on with the Spiro media platform?
Yeah, literally I need 10 seconds. June 23rd, 2026, a beta group for the open API with the MCP layer. For all you that know what that is, look to sign up for beta for the open API. This is hugely requested. And June 23rd, like I said. And then number 2, you're going to be able to mention another user and have notification preferences. Say you need virtual staging from your editor, you need something changed. Mention them in the internal chat. They get an email, they get a notification. It's going to streamline the way you communicate.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's not delay this anymore because this is going to be a fun, informative episode. Todd, how about you introduce our guest?
Yeah, I'm so excited to have our guest on. So she was a keynote speaker at Spiro Sync. She also drove you all around and sang to you if you had the shuttle pass, which was fabulous. She's a realtor. She trains realtors, and she's an influencer and speaker. None other than the fabulous Heather Haas today on the show. Heather, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm sitting outside in lovely Bellbrook, Ohio, so just outside of Dayton and everything. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Todd, I just have to comment right away. This might be my favorite background effects that I've ever heard for a guest. Do you hear those birds chirping?
So if I turn my thing around, like it's all trees behind me, and Bellbrook is really well known for being very serene and
Mm,
kind of a very small town, cute feel to it and stuff like that. So yeah, this is very on par for it.
I love it. I love it.
Heather, for those listeners that did not get to hear you and spend some time with you at Spiro Sync this last winter, can you just give a brief intro, some background, just what you do, what you've done, so they know who they're listening to today?
Of course. Well, hi everybody. My name is Heather Haas, but you can call me Sunshine, and that's also my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube handle at But You Can Call Me Sunshine. So I really know how to lean into the branding and stuff like that. But so a little bit about my background. I've been a realtor now for about 10 years. And I got into speaking and teaching other realtors, and then of course now expanding out to other real estate affiliates, small businesses, different, things like that, a lot of women-owned businesses and everything. But I started actually out with networking. So it was kind of funny, Craig mentioning about like being an introvert and stuff like that, because I'm like, introverts can make connections at these events too. Every event is about intention, like and stuff, like whether you're extrovert, introvert, whatever, it's being intentional with your time and what you want to get out of it. But then people just started asking me questions about social media because they loved my social media and such. And I'm like, it's nothing special. I'm just being myself, which is the everybody tries to be somebody else. They want to do, do different things like that. And that was like, they're like, hey, I really want to learn more about content creation and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'll just post my life. Like I just made a video and I haven't posted it yet this morning of me in like cow ears, like a cow ear headband, putting on my makeup. Like you should start your mornings like this or with a tiara on your head. Like why not? Like start your day with some whimsy. So like that's just me, and I'm a jokester and everything like that. But people start asking me a lot of social media. They knew what I was doing with it and marketing and everything, and it's just grown from there. I talk a lot about mindfulness and mindset. I am really good to kind of go into what I talked about this past winter. I feel I am very good at connecting dots and making connections for people, because it's so funny. I had so many people come up and they're like, your system just made sense. Like the way you had it all set up just made so much sense. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, I just thought of that within this past week. I'm like, because that's what made sense to me. Like, and everything. Like, I have a really good way of making metaphors so people understand it. And my metaphor for the conference was getting it in the mind of a realtor and understanding the realtor affiliate. I'm just going to say affiliate because whether you're a photographer, videographer, lender, anything like that, understanding what that relationship is from the realtor side, and understanding it's a relationship. So I talked about, hey, what do you do with like, you know, dating phase and marriage phase and different things like that. So I know we're probably going to go into that a little bit more, so I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. I've been doing speaking for about like 6 years now. I am the co-chair of the NAR conference this year, and still doing real estate too.
You mentioned mindset and connecting the dots, and I think one thing that us as real estate media companies, I think sometimes we connect some dots in our mind that we think realtors or we think that realtors should connect, but can you just give us some insight? So this is May of 2026. It's busy season in the Northern Hemisphere for us. What is the mindset of a realtor right now? And how can we connect with them in some of those dots? I think understanding them helps us connect with them, that which then builds that relationship so that we can, sell to them. And again,
Yeah.
selling not being a dirty word.
First is time. Like, timing is a big thing, like efficiency, like like I just got a great example. I got a text this morning. I don't know if the agents knew or what, but they're like, you ready to close today? And I'm like, I don't think we are. Like, because they hadn't gone through their steps. They hadn't checked with the lender. They hadn't checked with title and stuff. And I'm like, I think you need to talk to some people first. But it's very much like we are, time efficiency, getting things done promptly. Under promising, over delivering is really good, but also selling yourself. There's a balance with selling your services and everything like that too. But showing up proficiently and everything. Money is a big thing this year. I think everybody's feeling the squeeze. Like everyone is
Yeah.
feeling the squeeze right now. My tank of gas is a great example. Like it cost me double what it did last year to fill my tank
Yeah.
of gas. And I'm lucky I have a smaller SUV, so it's really only like $60. But when you're used to $30, like that's that could be a photo shoot or a partial photo shoot and stuff like that. And I think that's also where it comes into a lot of your newer realtors are struggling realtors. It helps when you have those like pay at the closing programs and stuff like that. So knowing that as well, and they want you to make them look good. That is like, there's this picture that's in my head, and I may have used it during I'm pretty sure I did. It's of Will Smith, and he's like showing off Jada Pinkett Smith. And I think if you've seen that picture, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what they want their affiliate to kind of be. And it's supposed to be a two-way street too. Unfortunately, some realtors don't think like that, but it is supposed to be a two-way street. But they want you to make them look good. And so being professional, showing up to, the showings professionally, giving them a checklist of what needs to be done beforehand. And I told people, I'm like, give them a little bonus if they're there with you during the pictures and such like that. Take a picture of them in action and just send it their way. Like just a little bonus. Something that they don't usually get, because we are also supposed to be marketers. And currently, the reason why I'm outside is because I'm at a content creation day. And most realtors are not marketers. Most realtors aren't small business owners. They don't understand it. Like they get into this thinking they're gonna, be selling sunset. And all of a sudden they're like, wait, I have to pay taxes. Wait, my broker isn't responsible for me. Wait, you don't give me leads. So, and then add that on to all your normal family stuff and everything like that, or your world stuff. And it's just a whole ball of stress going on. And it's not even to take away from you guys to say that you're not going through that same ball of stress to whomever's listening, because you all are small business owners. But I think once you kind of put yourself in that mindset, like you're like, oh, okay. And everything. So yeah, like those are your biggest things.
Yeah, I think that's a great example as we as real estate photographers think about all the times that we are in our own head or overwhelmed. We all did it. How do we do taxes? Is it okay, I'm going to hire someone. What's payroll? Do I have to hold back? What do I match? What paperwork do I have to do? And think about yourself. You all probably attached to vendors and people that took away some of that stress. So, Heather,
Yeah.
I think that's a fabulous challenge of how can we understand what the stressors are? And you gave us some great ones. They're busy. They need more time back. They need things to be simple. Solving those connects us with those realtors. And then in turn, you're just going to build those relationships that last a lifetime.
Yeah. It's the same thing I tell realtors, like when they're making content for people, or even just trying to find business. Who is your audience and what is their problem? Like that's the number one crux for a business owner in general. Who is your audience? What is their problem? How can you solve it? And that is how you have to come, be a problem solver and everything. Like it's really cool if you got an Emmy. I don't know, like like it's really cool if you got an Emmy or you're award-winning videographer and stuff like that. That's awesome. How are you going to solve my problems at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Like, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, they'll give me like a list of all their achievements, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like,
Yeah.
especially in real estate, especially in real estate. And I'm not going to say that that a lot of our awards are bull, but some of them are. Some of them are made up for fun and stuff like that. But like they also look really cool to our consumers that don't know. Like, oh, what was it years ago? And it's been a sunset program, HomeSnap. They would send out these awards to people like, you made top 5% of HomeSnap, and it would be over everybody's walls. And then you'd have the realtors kind of making fun of the realtors posting them like, oh,
Yeah.
but like their consumers don't know that. Like at the end of the day, like a little bragging kind of thing and stuff like that. Like, but also a lot of our consumers, they don't really care, just like we don't care a lot of times like what your like big things are. I'm just like, okay, you're bragging, like really, how can you help me? Show me what you can do. As how do you solve my problems?
Todd and Heather, I have to admit, just as a light aside here, when I see those realtor brag social media posts, like, April sales leader,
Yeah.
whatever, I can't help but think, should we do that as photographers, Todd? Should we, shot this many listings this month? So I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny if the photographers started doing the same thing.
Why not? Like, I think that'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool. Like, I think it's something. Like, I'm not saying not do it, like,
Mhm.
but it's something. Also, like, you could do some. Why don't you videographers and photographers give out awards to your best clients? Like most booked, a lot, and I believe Wow Video, and Todd, you might know more on this. They've done it with some local like brokerages and stuff like that, where at the yearly awards, it's like the top 3 people who used us this year, the top, and stuff like that. But you can give out, I don't know, superlatives like miscongeniality, like try to not be hurtful. Like somebody's like, wow, like you didn't give me that award or most talkative or something like that. Like, know your audience. But I think that's, that means something. Like yeah, just give them a little bit of a perk or whatnot. Like, why
Absolutely.
not? And I think I also talked about having like some sort of like program for your realtors too. Like every 5 bookings they get with you, they get a free headshot, something like that, like some sort of reward kind of thing. Because realtors will do that too with like their clients, like they do the client events, different things like that. So why can't you guys do that too? Steal ideas from other industries. Like go look at other industries because they're doing some amazing things.
Yeah, for sure. I do believe we have a podcast a while back where we talked about our VIP program. Part of that
Yeah.
is giving an award. And so you can go back and search for all that. And it's fun. We go to the offices and we give this award that we made up. It's like a top marketer award or something like that. And we put it in a plaque and we give them a little shot ski and there we take pictures with them. And so, yeah, I think leaning into that and it's kind of fun. I like the aspect that you bring of like you could almost make it a just so over the top award for your media company. I forget like the 50% of the bottom 50, like you can make up something that's funny about percentages and stats. And
So there's this thing, and I'll go around sometimes and teach because I work mainly by referral now. I am not like actively putting myself out there as a realtor all the time. I do it enough to let people know I still do it. So that way I get the referral business and such. But because I speak so much and I travel around the country and whatnot, like people are like, oh, are you still doing business? And I'm like, yeah, 100% of my business comes from a referral. And they're like, oh my gosh, can you teach me how to do that? And I'm like, sure, I can teach you how to get 5 deals a year. And they're just like, "Oh, oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah," and then, like, I do a little bit more than that. I do around, like, 10 to 12, which is really good and sustainable, and it keeps me in the know, like, for my business and such like that. But, like, statistics is funny because you can totally make it up. Like,
yeah, you sure
you can
can.
play with numbers, like, I'm not saying lie to people, but, like, numbers are funny.
Yeah.
The new math, especially that new
Yeah,
math.
yeah.
Well, Heather, something that I wanted to kind of focus into for those that didn't make it to the Spiro Sync conference, your presentation I thought was really it caught my attention because the title of
Yeah.
it was "Why Agents Break Up with You
Yeah.
and How to Keep the Relationship." So
Yeah.
yeah, you built this as a like a dating and marriage type of model between photographers and realtors. So would you mind kind of diving into the crux of that issue, why a realtor might
Break up with you?
break up with a photographer and go to
100%.
someone
And
else?
so
Yeah.
I talked about like a lot of your realtors, they start off like a relationship. What do you do at the beginning of a relationship, whether it's before you even ask them out or in the first date? You're getting to know them. So that means meeting people, making sure that you're a good fit. Because I talked about a relationship with one of my photographers and videographers and how that started and everything, and how like we just vibed. And I think that's really, really important. Not everybody is meant to work with you and stuff like that.
Mm, yep.
It was so awesome. I loved speaking at that conference because I had so many like people come up to me afterwards and they're like, well, how do I handle this realtor? And how do I handle this realtor? And I was like, it sounds like you need better boundaries. Like,
Mm.
and so they were like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, because what they're asking you to do is illegal. Like, and I don't want to say
Ooh.
illegal, but it's like it's against realtor rules. Like they're asking for them to edit certain things out of the picture and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, don't do that. Not I'm like, because you have to remember this is a reflection of your business at the end of the day. Like, and so sure, maybe you'll get to be known, but do you want to be known as the photographer that like will smudge some things for some business and whatnot? Like we have brokerages like around here that are known for just like being a little bit more
Mm.
and stuff like that. So no, you don't want to be. We want to have a really good business. But I started off with like getting to know who the realtor is and such. So inside the realtor brain where we have high urgency, high emotion, and our reputation is tied to everything, just as
Right.
yours is. And then I talk about like there's little margin for error, like when it comes to like ours is contracts, 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 little margin for error. Deadlines are everywhere. We live by the deadline.
Mm.
And then, the pressure is constant. We're getting everything everywhere from our clients, from our title company, from our people and everything. And I think sometimes that'll spill over just like in a relationship. Um, the person that you know and you're most comfortable with, they're going to like unleash it on you a little bit more. I don't know why it works out like that, but it does. But there's a lot of emotion when it comes to real estate, especially on the realtor side. The lenders, they just have to deal with numbers and they have to deal a little bit with the emotion. The title people, they just have to deal with the search and everything like that. I'm not saying any of these places don't have to deal with emotion, but usually the realtor is the center of all these relationships. So we have to deal with fear, excitement, stress. Is this going to close? Am I going to be able to make my mortgage payment? Like I've had a few realtors recently, like, I don't know if I can make my mortgage payment next month and
Mm.
stuff. So you have to deal with that. And I think too, like understanding the training for realtors. Most realtors don't know what they're doing. Like, and so and what I mean by that is we go to school and we basically know how to not get a lawsuit against us. That is the 3 weeks of school, how not to have a lawsuit against you. And then
Mm.
we get into it and we're like, oh, how do I run a business? Oh, and I was talking about that earlier. Like, is our broker our boss? No, you're your boss. I used to have the same with a mirror in my office and I would be like, so you're your boss. It's going to be the worst boss that you've ever had because keep
Yep.
yourself
Yep.
accountable and everything. Like it's the worst thing ever in everything. I think, just understanding that when we come from a perspective of empathy, like, and not excuses, because some realtors, again, like they'll take advantage and stuff like that, just as anybody would. But once we understand that, then like, it's easier to work with people. And then I also brought up this great example too. Like, there's red flags in people as well, and you got to set those boundaries for yourself. And I understand, like, if you're new in the business and you don't have an established business, that's really, really hard to do.
It is. Yeah.
Realtors struggle with it, like, and everything like that. But then I brought up all these pictures of like these beautiful celebrities. I'm like, you know what these celebrities all have in common? They've been cheated on.
Mm.
Like, and I'm like, and everybody could be like, well, they're so nice. There's this and they're beautiful. Like, why? And it's just because some people just, that's how they are. People are people. And we need to figure out our own boundaries and our own business structure to know that. But then I talk about the dating phase and getting to know them, like your first impressions matter. How do you show and how do you present to them? What is your social media like? What is your marketing like? Are you meeting them for coffee? I'm at a coffee shop right now. I love to meet for coffee. Like, if any photographer, videographer wants to get on my good side, they find out, they do research and they find out what my favorite coffee shop is. They ask around just like you would with dating and like, what's your favorite coffee shop and stuff. And, you go from there. And then I talk about like, once you get that meeting with those people or know how to approach them, you got to ask them the right questions too. Just, and make sure, again, it aligns with your values and your business strategy. And that could be like, I brought my slides up just so I remember. What kind of business are you trying to build? What do you enjoy most about what you do? What do you enjoy about marketing, and what do you hate? And that's a really important question. I think most videographers and photographers should ask that question. What do you enjoy about marketing, and what do you hate? Because right there, you can figure out if you're going to solve their problems.
Hmm.
Uh,
Good question.
when I was in that car, it's so funny that Todd brought up my little karaoke machine. I actually used that again the other day. It stays in
Good.
my car as like this little emergency karaoke. Like, and I needed my voice amplified the other day, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out and grab my emergency karaoke machine. And so but, like, I was just listening to conversations and having conversations with a lot of the people in the car, and there was this one that was talking about, scripting or something like that, and I'm like, "You need to send it to them ahead of time. They need to know what's going in, and you limit them, and you let them know, like, hey, and then sometimes I think it's also good to remind people, like, it's not gonna be perfect, you're not gonna be perfect, and you're not supposed to like the way you sound and look. If you do,
Hmm.
you're a narcissist. Like, I'm not saying you're a nerd, no, but, like, naturally, we are not supposed to like the way we sound and look. Our faces are mirrored. There's, like, a whole psychology thing behind it and stuff like that. So I think it's reassuring them because a lot of them are nervous about being on camera and being, like, on video and different things like that, if that's a problem that you solve for them. Also, like, what has worked well with other partners and what has not? What are your expectations? How much guidance do you need? Certain things like that. And then you kind of can come up with a plan from there or figure out, is this relationship going to go forward? Are we going to date a little bit more? And then from there, realtors, they want to know if I can rely on you. Do you make this easy? Will you make me look good? And do our values reflect each other? At least to me, that last one's really important. And then you just have that honeymoon phase where you guys are working well together and everything. I talked about my photographer and videographer, during this, like, and my lender, like, we all became best friends. Like, me and my videographer were in our lender's wedding, like,
Hmm.
like people and stuff like that, just because we all vibed really well. Like we had silly ideas. It was fun, and everything like that. And then, during what I called the 7-year itch, which was my next part, like, it was like, this is where a lot of times people will break up with you. It's because, like, maybe you're not like, um, what defines like a good relationship. Like, sometimes we get stuck in a rut. Like, like, you think they're always gonna be there, so they're not good there's,
Hmm.
good communication. You do something that violates the trust. You're not consistent in anymore because people get busy, and you're not setting the expectations. So, it's, these are, like, really big relationship, things. And I talked about, my videographer slash photographer, the person that I was with, like, pretty much from the beginning, like, we kinda went through some growing pains together because of that too. Like, when TikToks and Reels came out, they were so against it, and
Hmm.
I'm like, "No, I think this is gonna be a new thing," and, like, stuff, and, like, they're still not exactly for it, like, it's so funny, but, like, they're more likely to like, they understand it a little bit more. They understand, like, this is the now, and everything like that. But then they got out of the business because of AI.
Hmm.
Like, and so, like, a lot of and, I'm like, "No, I think it can enhance your business." Like, I think it can make it things easier. And I think, like, what's really hard, because I'm a creative, person, and what's really hard for creatives and AI, it feels like it's taking away.
Hmm.
So I think I do understand that struggle. Oh, thank you so much. I got coffee, y'all. That's, from Ruoff Mortgage. So,
Little
uh,
plug there.
yeah. But yeah, and actually, this is a really great example. So, this local mortgage company is putting on this content day, and I don't have the paper on me at the moment, but there are like 5 different stops in this little town, and then luckily we can walk everywhere here. But they've organized this whole day to where we can get content. That could be something you guys could do, like, especially, and you don't have to necessarily film it for them, but, I always I think one of the conversations I had in that truck, that, or the van, was like, you kinda need to show them they don't wanna do this on their own. Like,
Right. Yep.
most realtors don't wanna do this on their own. They don't understand the editing. Editing is the worst part for me, and stuff like that. They don't understand what kind of content they need to be making, and you kinda have to, like, let them, like, it's like a baby bird, like, you kinda gotta let them fall out of the nest and then be there to help 'em when it comes. So, teaching them certain things, we're just laughing about the plugging. Shannon says, "I do a really hard time at plugging myself." And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You can sell these, like, classes that you do, like, webinars to these photographers and videographers as a benefit because you teach people how to be themselves and brand themselves and what kind of content they can be making." So that's my little plug, y'all. If you want a webinar, or if you want to bring me out, I know somebody in Minnesota talked about bringing me out for a day, but, like, provide those certain things to people. But the 7-year itch, again, like, communication, different things, making sure things aren't, falling behind, making sure you're staying in touch with people, and everything. Because eventually we get the wandering eye, like, and stuff like that, like, and we're like, "Oh, this person's doing this person's doing this," and
Mhm.
so you need to figure out if that's part of your business plan too, or how you can integrate it, and, ask your realtor, like, "Hey, like, I wanna learn this, like, because I know it's something you're interested in, like, can you work with me on this?" And maybe give them a little bit of a discount or something like that, like, with working out on these certain things. And then again, some people are just gonna, they're just gonna fly the nest and whatnot. I talked about the silent breakup, there's no feedback, there's no conflict, there's no rebooking and whatnot. They just decide, I don't want to work with you anymore and everything. You're like, what happened?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
whatnot. And so, sometimes that's self-reflection and sometimes it's just people are people. But everything's fixable and preventable. Again, long-lasting relationships, just making sure your communication is good, you're reassuring people, you're staying up to date on certain things that are popular and that realtors are feeling like they need, especially in the marketing sense. Because I feel like a lot of photographers, videographers that probably deal with you, they're doing house tours and stuff like that, which is awesome, but, now they're needing more things. So, do you have the ability to become a marketing company too? Like, Wow Video was in our office the other day. They talked about adding, now you can add an additional, video add-on for like $100 or something like that. That's gonna be a reel and you're gonna be on it and stuff like that. So, having those options for people, like, eventually you have to solve their marketing issues because there are things that realtors like people. Well, some of them. Most of us hate paperwork. Most of us hate paperwork. I don't like negotiating. Like, that's probably paperwork and negotiating, not my thing. I love marketing. Most realtors don't love marketing. If they did, my classes would not be full.
Mhm.
Like, they wanna know how to do it. They'll listen to somebody fabulous like a Marky Lemons, which that's a plug for her. If you haven't seen her or her son Skylar Lemons and what they do, they're amazing. But, like, they'll listen to somebody like that, and they're like, "I'm gonna do all these things," and then they're like, "How?" Like, so I always say I'm the kindergarten teacher. I'm gonna be like, "Okay, everybody, I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna get through this, like, and I'm gonna teach you the basics and everything." But that's basically to wrap up, what my whole session was about, was thinking of it like you would a relationship, and you gotta work on it, especially for your top people. Realtors, they do have programs like top 50 referral people, top 50, the people who have used me this year, they do client events, different things like that. Most realtors love a good happy hour. But if you're a millennial or you're a Gen Zer, they want options for healthier options. They like coffee hours.
Mhm.
They like coffee hours. They like, mocktails. And, especially your Gen Z and your Gen Alphas, like, they want stuff like yoga in the park, like, we're the hashtag healthy era. Like, by the way, hashtags are out. That was very chuggy of me. But, yeah, like, so I think that's the main layout of what I talked about during the whole presentation, without giving the whole presentation again.
Well, so much good stuff in there, Heather. I know we've kept you longer. You've squeezed us in today. Thank you for that. Just one last question as we wrap, because I think this is the hardest with even getting new clients, but I love the dating analogy because I always think about like, oh, some people, I don't have the ability, like when I thought about dating, like you always asked a friend who asked a friend who asked a friend. So if they're,
Wow,
yeah,
referrals.
referrals. But if you're wanting to grow right now and you're wanting to put more shoots on your book as a real estate media company, what is one step that they could take today to begin to build that process of that dating connection? And sometimes the first one's the hardest to take. So is there like a cheat? What do you use? What can our real estate media company listeners out there?
You have to figure out what your audience is. I think that is your best thing. Like, and Todd, I'm going to use the example of Wow Video. Wow Video, I got to know because they had a partnership with my brokerage. So maybe that's where you start. You start teaming up with those smaller brokerages, different things like that. But I also started in a group called YPN. And YPN is an amazing place for newer people to, if you become an affiliate of that program. Some associations have better relationships with YPNs than others. We had an awesome YPN, and I'm not just saying that because I was a YPN chair. But like, I believe YPN is great because a lot of your established realtors, they have their people and such like that. And I know like those are your people you want to get in with. But I would consider myself an established realtor. And even 5 years ago, I would consider myself established enough to where I could start to be picky. If you're just up in my DMs, like, hey girl, what's up? And whatnot. That is not, no, like, no. And I'm better than that. So get to know, like, you can get to know me in a certain way. Like I said, you can look at my social media and be like, I know she likes coffee. Maybe I invite her to coffee. Like, or a lot of times too, and I know it's really hard, like, being vulnerable is a big thing. And when you ask for help, that's being vulnerable at the end of the day. So asking your local people, hey, I'm trying to grow this. Like, how do you suppose how in my area do you recommend that I grow this and everything? Would you be willing to sit down and have a conversation with me? If I gave you a discount on something, like, would you help me promote this and stuff like that? I have so many, I don't want to say so many, but about twice a year, I get a photographer or videographer like, hey, I'm gonna give you a package for free if you help promote me. And like, that's not enough for me. Like, I know money is a thing. I don't know anything about you. If you're not being present on social media, and if so that's what I talk about with referrals and being present. You got to either be present on social media or you got to be present with the people that I know.
Mhm.
And so, I know a lot of agents aren't in offices anymore, but find the agents that are. Maybe that's, the big thing. And if you get in good with an influencer in there, uh,
Mhm.
they will help praise your name. And you just gotta ask them sometimes. Like, you just gotta be like, hey, if this happens, and whatnot. Like, I have agents in my office that they're newer and they're just like, hey, I don't have a lot of money up front. Like, what do you recommend? Oh, well, our office works really well with Wow Video. I don't know who Wow Video is. Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit more and how they have the pay at closing program. Now you have to qualify for it. But, I'm like, that's a great way if you don't have that $250 up front and whatnot. Like, my videographer, photographer, he's always been able to keep me into his little back pocket because he charges me what he charged me 10 years ago. Like, and so, and he has drone, he has this and he has that, but he knows I'm a loyal client and he knows I'll refer to him and refer him out and different things like that. So it's just starting with those people who are newer, nurturing those relationships. Referrals, one of the best way, and being present is one of the best way. If you are going to be, and definitely if you are going to be helping people with their marketing, your marketing better look good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking social media too. Behind the scenes, be funny. Like, people love funny. People love funny. Go follow those dentists on TikTok or whatnot. Like, they're just making stupid videos, but people want that. Like, and like, I'm silly. I'm just being myself. I'm making a video with a tiara and a cow head and stuff like that. Like, they just want relatable, they want funny, like, the same advice you would give them, they want that from you too.
Mhm. Such good stuff, Heather. Thank you for staying on extra with us. The insight, the brain of a realtor and someone who trains realtors. So it's just been so great today. Thank you.
Course, and, I'm sure my information will probably go out with this, I don't remember and whatnot, but anybody who wants to reach out to me at any time, send me an email. I talked a lot about CE during those sessions too. Send me an email. I probably know how to get CE in your state. Even if I'm not the one teaching it, I will connect you with the right people or at least give you in a certain way. I think that's, I just always want to be helpful to people.
Excellent. Heather, thank you so much. We appreciate
Of
you.
course.
Our
Of
guest
course.
this week, Heather Haas. And we just want to thank you for taking time to listen to the podcast, to watch it. We know it's busy season for a lot of us, and so that time is valuable, and we don't take that for granted. So thank you. If you want to leave some feedback on the YouTube channel or ask a question, feel free to leave a comment. You can also email us, hello@spiro.media. And if you have certain business questions that you would like to see the podcast cover, again, just drop us an email, hello@spiro.media. Todd, any closing thoughts from you?
Just good stuff in there. Focus on one of those things, and it's probably going to seem uncomfortable because you're not doing that right now, but uncomfortable is growing and one step at a time.
Oh my gosh,
Excellent.
uncomfortable. I'm gonna say one more thing, one more little nugget. Like, in the age of AI, be real.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm,
be real, be vulnerable. Point of views are so big right now. Just like being sloppy and not sloppy, but like human.
Mhm.
authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Authentic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Well, guys, you have a great rest of your week, whenever it is you're watching or listening to this. Make sure you take some time, even during this busy season, take a breath, be thankful for the blessings in your life, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.